Welcome back guys to your 8th C++ graphic OpenGL tutorial. In this tutorial we're gonna create a window, an OpenGL window. So first thing, we need to create an OpenGL object that will store every data of our window. So this object will be used by every function, most of every function. So first thing, we need to create an object are just like an object in C. So my wrist. So first thing, create an object. Let's make a comment first. Window object. Window object. So window object. Now remember, we are using GLFW to create a window. So any function or any keyword related to the window will be GLFW. So GLFW window. Now we are giving the function the object type, that is window. Window. You see, window. I'm gonna name it window. It's called to. So this is our window object here of type window, GLFW window pointer. So now we're gonna call a function that will create our window for us. This is the window object, but we're gonna call a function that will create a window, and store it in the window object for us. So remember, I told you the window object was an object to store the Windows data. So first thing, let's create the window by writing GLFW create window. So first thing, we need to give this function that create the window for us, we need to give the wide of the window, how wide the window should be. So I'm gonna give it some 400, sorry. And the second parameter, the second argument the GLFW create window needs is the height of our window. So let me give it 400. Now the third parameter, the third argument is for the window name, actually the name on the bar, on the toolbar. So what are we going to name our window? I'm gonna name it pretty window. Pretty window. So next, I think this 1 2 3 4, the fifth parameter, the fifth argument, I'm trying to say fifth argument is something we'll talk about in the real GLFW window, the GLFW tutorial I'll create. So in this case, we are now not going deep in GLFW. So now we need to leave this as null. Right, null is in capital letter, that is for GLFW. Then the other last argument, we need to put it as null for now. These two arguments for now, put it as null, then terminate it. So now this function, what this function does is it creates a window of wide 400 wide and 400 height. Then the name of the window, I gave it pretty window. Then in this last two arguments, just leave them as null because we are not going deep as that. So here we created a window and we store it in the window objects of type pointer to GLFW window. So the next thing we need to do is to check if our window was created successfully. So first thing, in C++, to check that, we use the if statement. So if not window, if not window, cow error, window could not be created. So everybody knows how to use C++. So actually, if you don't know how to use C++, then I think you cannot look back and look for other playlists I created for C++ tutorial. So at this place we check if the window was created. So this how we check it, if the window was created or not. So let's build and see if there is an error so far. There is no error, but actually the thing is still compiling and I don't know why. Okay, so next thing we need to do here is to make this window we created current. We said in the last tutorial that that GLFW is a window creation library and a context creation library. So to create a context, we need something to put in the context. The context is just like making something current and use and work with those things. So first thing, we create a window. Now we need to make that window current. So any function we use on the window, any function we use can affect our window. So first thing we need to do is to call, remember we are using GLFW, call GLFW function to make GLFW make context current here. Now it takes the window we created, so is the window. Then right here we make our window current. So what next? We need to create our game loop, but first thing, GLFW has done its own part by creating the window for us. First thing, remember, we initialize it here. We set openGL version to 3.3, so any hardware that has the version, let me say 3.2 or lesser, our program will not work in them, and any hardware that has more than 3.3 or 3.3, it's gonna work. So the next thing here is to create a game loop. But actually, before we create the game loop, I want us to look at the library here that we'll use before the game loop. So let me just really write the game loop here. While it's a loop, it's a while loop. While then while, when we say while, we want to give a condition to our program. So while all the function we will write, every statement we will put in the while loop must affect the window, and the window should not close. So that's what we want to tell our program now. So while the window is not allowed to close, do this and do that and do that. So while GLFW, I'm coming, while GLFW close, sorry, window should close. Yeah, window should close. Sorry. Then window, it takes the window. So everything we do will work on the window. While window should, why it's not window should close. What that means is that as long as the window is not allowed to close, we can process these things that will be in here, unless the user instruct the window to close, then the window can close up. So while GLFW window should not close, do these things that we're gonna put here. So let's just leave this place like this. So in here, before the while loop, before the game loop, we call it game loop, we need to put something, we need to put some functions here that will help us to have some functions here. Actually, openGL is in our graphic card, and the version of GLFW, openGL in our graphic card, we don't know the version of our openGL in our graphic card. We don't know where they are in the graphic card. We just don't know any of their functions. So we need to query them, we need to look for them, the functions we need to look for them and use them. So this process is always specific, and it's more time consuming because you will be looking for every function of OpenGL from their address where they are located. But we have a library that can help us to do so. It's a library created to locate the address of OpenGL functions and keywords for us, so it saves us a lot of time. So instead of we programmers anytime we want to use a specific function, we go and look for the function in the where it is located. We use the library called glad, glad. So we need to download this glad library so we can use it for OpenGL. So after downloading, we'll link that the same way we link GLFW. So this glad library will be the library that will help us to get the functions and the keywords of OpenGL, so we can use them in our program to manipulate graphic and all those things. So in the next video we're gonna talk about the glad and how to link the glad to our OpenGL so we can have the OpenGL keywords and functions related to OpenGL. So I was saying that all these functions we call here were related to GLFW. That's why we wrote GLFW before the real function. So the same way for OpenGL, we'll be writing GL function, the keywords GL keyword, stuff like that. So we need to go and look for the library, then link it to our project, then get started with the OpenGL thing. So right here the window is created already, but not fully created. It has been created by GLFW, but we need OpenGL to balance it, because now if we want the program, now it's gonna work, but it will give us some unnecessary results. Now our cursor is turning and our window is painted white, so it's not a successful window. So in the next tutorial we're gonna create an input. We're gonna link glad to our, and give a color to our window. So bye for now, and see me in the next tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe.